The small town of Ashford had always been a place where nothing much happened. The townsfolk went about their daily lives working, chatting, and enjoying the simplicity of their existence. Yet, on the outskirts of Ashford, nestled deep within the woods, there was a peculiar relic hidden from the world, the Mirror of Truth. It was said that the mirror had once belonged to a powerful sorceress who had used it to extract the deepest, darkest secrets from those who dared to gaze into its depths. Over time, the story surrounding the mirror had faded into folklore, and few believed it to be more than an old wives' tale. But not everyone in Ashford was so skeptical. A group of friends, John, Sarah, Mike, and Emily, had heard the legends of the Mirror of Truth and decided to explore the eerie woods in search of this fabled object. Their adventure began on a chilly autumn evening when the sun cast long shadows through the dense trees. Armed with flashlights and a sense of youthful bravado, they followed a winding, overgrown path deep into the woods. Sarah led the way, her long red hair illuminated by the beam of her flashlight. The group had heard rumors of where the mirror might be hidden, but they were unprepared for the sense of foreboding that gripped them as they ventured deeper into the heart of the forest. The air grew heavy, and whispers of wind in the leaves seemed to carry eerie, indistinct voices. After what felt like hours of trudging through the woods, they stumbled upon an ancient stone pedestal draped in ivy. Atop the pedestal stood the Mirror of Truth, a seemingly ordinary-looking glass with a frame adorned in intricate, swirling patterns. "Is that it?" Mike asked with a hint of doubt in his voice. He was the most skeptical among them, always ready with a quick joke or a scoff. Emily, the adventurous one, stepped forward, her breath forming clouds in the cold air. "It has to be. The legends say it reveals your deepest, darkest secrets. Are you all ready for this?" she asked, her excitement mingling with a hint of apprehension. John, the leader of the group, nodded solemnly. "We're in this together. Let's find out if this mirror is the real deal." With the mirror before them, the friends huddled together. As they turned on their flashlights, they illuminated the mirror's surface, revealing their anxious, curious faces reflected back at them. "We should do this one by one," Sarah suggested. "We don't want to overwhelm the mirror or ourselves." John volunteered to be the first. He leaned in, peering deep into the reflective glass, and felt a shiver run down his spine. At first, nothing happened, but then his face contorted with shock. He stumbled backward, his flashlight clattering to the ground. "What did you see, John?" Emily asked, her voice trembling. John's face had turned pale and he couldn't form words for a moment. When he finally spoke, his voice was filled with dread. I saw what I did to my little sister when we were kids. Something I've never told anyone. How did it know?" The mirror had revealed the truth, a long-buried secret that had festered in the depths of John's conscience. His friends exchanged nervous glances, but their curiosity overwhelmed their fear. Sarah was next to step forward. She gazed into the mirror, her face bathed in an eerie light. Her eyes widened, and she clamped a hand over her mouth as tears welled up. She too stepped away, unable to speak. "It showed me what I said to my ex before he left. Those words that still haunt me," she finally whispered, her voice thick with emotion. Mike, always the cynic, eyed the mirror with skepticism. "I'll give it a try," he said, stepping forward with a smirk. As Mike peered into the mirror, the smirk faded from his lips. He gasped, his eyes fixed on the reflection. He saw something he had long tried to bury, an act of betrayal from his past, an event that had caused deep pain to someone he once cared for. The mirror revealed their darkest secrets, those buried in the darkest corners of their hearts. Secrets they had never dared to share, and some they had almost forgotten. It was as though the mirror reached deep into their souls, unearthing the hidden horrors they thought were long gone. Finally, it was Emily's turn. Her face paled as she approached the mirror. What could the mirror reveal about her? She had always been the fearless one of the group. her life an open book, or so she had believed. As she gazed into the mirror, her expression shifted from curiosity to shock, then to utter despair. She saw an image from her childhood, something she had buried so deep that she'd almost convinced herself it had never happened. A traumatic incident involving her father, one she had tried to escape from by leaving Ashford. Tears streamed down her face as she stepped back from the mirror, her friends surrounding her in concern. "We can't stay here," John said, his voice quivering. "This mirror, it's showing us things we've locked away for a reason. Let's go back home, forget this ever happened." The group decided to leave the mirror behind, deep within the woods. They couldn't bear to look into it again, to have their past transgressions and hidden agonies exposed. As they retraced their steps through the woods, the air seemed less oppressive, and the whispers among the leaves were mere echoes of normal forest sounds. Their individual secrets, now known to the others, cast a long shadow over their friendship. Over time, the revelations from the mirror of truth took a toll on their relationships. John's guilt over what he had done to his sister strained their bond. Sarah's painful words to her ex had permanently damaged their friendship. Mike's betrayal still haunted the group. Emily, whose secrets had seemed the darkest of all, struggled to heal from the wounds of her past. In the end, the cursed mirror had shown them the depths of their darkness, and their friendship, once so strong, had crumbled under the weight of their secrets. The bonds that once held them together were now fragile, and the mirror's haunting revelations continued to plague their dreams and waking hours. The mirror of truth had indeed been real, but they had underestimated the consequences of revealing their deepest, darkest secrets. The curse of the mirror had bared their souls, exposing them to a level of truth they were never meant to face. Ashford remained a quiet, ordinary town, but within the woods the mirror of truth remained, a relic of hidden horrors and shattered friendships, casting a long shadow over the lives of those who had dared to seek the truth. As the years passed, the group of friends grew apart. They were no longer the close-knit bunch who had embarked on an adventure into the woods. The weight of their exposed secrets and the strain it had put on their friendship had taken its toll. Emily had moved away, eager to escape the memories that haunted her in Ashford. John, once the leader of the group, became increasingly isolated, unable to shake the guilt of his past actions. Mike's cynicism had deepened, causing him to drift from those he once called friends, and Sarah, the one who had always held the group together, found herself unable to repair the fractures that had formed among them. But the power of the mirror was far from forgotten. Over the years, as the stories of the friends' fractured friendship spread throughout Ashford, whispers of the mirror of truth grew louder. The tale of the mirror's ability to reveal the darkest secrets of one's soul drew the curious and the desperate alike. People from all walks of life began to make their way into the woods, searching for the mirror. Some were drawn by a desire for absolution, hoping that the mirror could help them confront their own hidden horrors. Others were enticed by the thrill of unveiling long-buried truths. The woods around the mirror became a place of pilgrimage for the tormented and the curious, as it seemed that the relic held the power to expose the deepest, darkest secrets of the soul. People would gather in hushed groups, recounting the stories of the friends who had dared to look into the mirror, forever changed by the revelations it offered. The stories grew more elaborate with each telling. Some claimed that the mirror could reveal not only past secrets, but also the future. Others believed that the mirror held the spirits of those who had looked into it, whispering their truths to anyone who dared approach. Within the woods, a small community formed around the myth of the mirror of truth. People built makeshift shrines and left offerings, hoping to gain insight into their own lives. They spoke of the mirror with a sense of reverence, as though it were a powerful deity capable of absolving sins and revealing hidden paths. Those who had looked into the mirror never seemed to find peace. The weight of their secrets was too great to bear, and many of them could no longer live with the knowledge the mirror had uncovered. Ashford, once a peaceful town, had become a magnet for the broken and the desperate, all seeking solace or an end to their suffering. The true power of the mirror remained a mystery, as the stories surrounding it continued to evolve and intertwine with the legends of those who had first discovered it. The Mirror of Truth had left an indelible mark on Ashford, forever changing the town's peaceful, ordinary facade. And so, in the depths of the mysterious woods, the Mirror of Truth continued to exist, untouched by time and unmoved by the weight of the secrets it had revealed. Ashford remained a quiet town, but its woods concealed a relic of hidden horrors and unfulfilled desires, forever casting a long shadow over those who dared to seek the truth. As the years passed, the curious and the tormented continued to be drawn to the woods, seeking solace, answers, or a way to confront their hidden secrets. Ashford itself had become a town forever changed by the presence of the mirror. A makeshift shrine had formed around the relic, a place where people from all walks of life would gather to share their own stories and experiences. They left offerings, candles, and notes with their deepest, darkest secrets, hoping to appease the mirror's mysterious power. Some spoke of it as a deity, while others believed it was a portal to another world, capable of revealing both the past and the future. Yet the stories surrounding the mirror were ever-changing, weaving into the legends of those who had first discovered it. There were whispers that the mirror held the spirits of those who had gazed into it, forever bound to the relic, eternally whispering their truths to anyone who dared approach. But those who had looked into the mirror were never able to find true peace. The weight of their exposed secrets proved too heavy a burden to bear. Many were driven to the brink of madness or despair. Ashford, once a quiet and uneventful town, had become a haven for the broken and the desperate, all seeking answers or relief from the mirror's unforgiving revelations. The true nature of the mirror remained a mystery, lost to time and obscured by the evolving stories and legends that surrounded it. Ashford had transformed from a place of simplicity and quietude into a town haunted by the presence of the mirror. And so, in the heart of the enigmatic woods, the Mirror of Truth endured, untouched by the passage of time and indifferent to the suffering it had caused. Ashford, once a tranquil and ordinary town, now bore the mark of hidden horrors and unfulfilled desires, forever cloaked in the shadow of the mirror. The relic's dark legacy continued to influence the lives of those who dared to seek the truth, whether for salvation or damnation, and the stories of the mirror's power persisted, whispered from one generation to the next, a never-ending tale of mystery and dread.